looking like a baddie. I show up and make them stop. Wanna know my name so badly, cause I run this whole block. Flip my hair, move my head, show the world I'm royalty. When I walk by, they be taking bows, cause they know I'm the queen, yeah. Move it, move it, groove it, groove it. They wanna know just how I do it when I do it, do it. I got that magic touch, it's a rush, pulsing through my veins when I show up everybody.
Hello, my people. Hello, everyone. Hola, mi gente. How we all doing on this beautiful night? It's getting chilly, so you know what that means. It's getting cold, and we have Thanksgiving coming, and that means lots of pumpkins, and then comes Santa Claus, and then yeah, all the goody stuff. But everyone, please share the link. Share the show. You know, sharing is caring. That way, you know, the more views we get, you know, the more people get to know Could Be You TV, the more fun we have. And yeah, definitely. So before we get to our guest, it's an amazing, incredible, super duper guest that I'm so excited to have on. We're just going to kick it off with our birthday shout outs. And happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños to all my fellow Libras, Librians, however you want to call it. There's a lot of them, you know. We need more of us around. Even though I am my birthday's coming up too. For those of you that might know or you don't know, now you know. It is next week. It is the 22nd. I'll put that on your calendar. But you know what? It's just until recently that I found out that I'm what you call a cusp. I am a Libra Scorpio. Yes, I am. That makes a lot of sense, you know. It makes a lot of sense, you know, and it's interesting to have discovered that because I discovered a lot of things about me that I didn't know. Now it all makes sense. But happy birthday. So, guys, I have exciting news. And oh, and by the way, for those of you that are always asking me, wow, you're a psychic, how did you know it was our birthdays? Well, you know, if you're friends, if we're friends on Facebook, then you know when you get the notification that it's your birthday, and that's how I know. So if you want to shout out someone who is not my friend, you can always give an email, send an email to couldbeyoutv@gmail.com, and I'll be more than glad to give out a shout out, no matter if it's a birthday, anniversary, whatever it is. So yes, my news. So I want to congratulate and I want to send big hugs and kisses to my nephew, Max Torres. OMG. For those of you that follow me, I post a lot or frequently of my nephew who he's into surfing. He does surfing. And you know what? I'm not even going to say it. Bobby, can we just play that video?
Counting down as we see the heat culminate here. We have your new world champion here at the ISA World Sup and Paddleboard Championship, Max Torres from Puerto Rico. His first world championship here throughout the week as we see his team carry him off the beach, waving the national flag.
Yeah, congratulations, Max, Benoit, Kai, and Wes. Just an amazing final. I mean, this is so exciting to watch as a fan of the sport, as a fan of surfing, and as a fan of the ISA. What a great contest, and I cannot wait for this women's final coming up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Literally since I started, this was my dream, being a gold medalist in the ISA, and look at me now.
Well, congratulations. Let's talk about your dad said, hey, quit smiling, quit having fun. This is business. It seemed like you really changed in the last couple of heats. And that final, man, you just threw down. You were all focused.
Yeah, so I had my emotions up, I had a lot of confidence in myself, which was like a little bit too bad. But, I got eliminated and it was perfect. I needed more practice in these conditions and I love surfing. So I had that extra heat, which set me up for the final and the dub.
And you talked about your dad, had a conversation with you. We can't put it on camera right now. But that conversation really resonate with you out in the lineup?
Yeah, for sure. My dad pulled some strings and my psychiatrist, Rafa, he pulled some strings and it worked out.
Congratulations. It's got to be a good feeling with the whole country watching you at home right now. What do you want to say to everybody back home?
Nada, no se las dejé en casa el año pasado, pero se las llevo ahora.
Gold medal, Maximilian Torres from Puerto Rico.
Medalla de oro. Max. Oh my God, how amazing was that? Congratulations, Max. Titi is so proud of you. I can't believe that you've actually, you're accomplishing all your dreams. You worked hard for this, and that is so amazing. It makes me so proud. And I believe that was in France, people. Like this is a big deal. And I'm a proud Titi, and muchos besos and much continued success. And well, we're going to take a quick commercial break because when we come back, I have a surprise guest. So I'll see you soon.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Hi everybody, I'm Stephen Michael. Come follow me every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Channel 115 on the Keeping It Real with Stephen Michael show. Come hang out with me and DJ Brian as we play your favorite music. We have your motivational messages, and I promise you, you'll leave a happier person. The show is all about faith, mental health awareness, and motivational messages. I'll see you every Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. Channel 115, where the insanity begins.
And all your problems make you want to scream and shout. Keeping it real with Stephen Michael. Never give up, Stephen Michael.
And with no further ado, I am so excited to introduce, drum roll please, Dr. G. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy and delighted that you are here with Could Be You TV. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's great hanging out with you. I'm just getting, my cool points and cool factor in. It's so awesome.
Yes, definitely. Well, it's taken me a while to actually to get you here because I know how busy you are. A very fascinating, interesting, intriguing person. You're like this multifaceted, like business entrepreneur. Please, the list goes on and on. So what is that all about?
Look, just as you are, right? And many of us women, right? We're just multifaceted, multidimensional, and just the world needs that right now. And I
Right.
think, we have a lot, I believe we have a lot more to give than we need. And so therefore, I'm just one of those people who come to that point where, I try to help and to be of value to as many as I can, if I can. Can't always be there and do everything for everyone,
But I
right?
think you are, because we attend. I mean, I try to attend as many community, events and special, fundraisers
Mhm.
and what have you. And you are always part of it. And I'm like, well, wow, like you are, like you're literally there, with your services, and always, like you said, lending a helping hand.
Mhm.
And so what exactly is like what is that you help with? Like what do you help the community to be part of?
So, my business is a management consulting business, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with what is called an MWBE, so
I am
minority.
not. School me.
So, you're so funny.
Well,
No. I
inquiring
know.
minds want to know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure I'm not the
yeah,
only
yeah,
one. There's people out there
yeah,
who would like to
yeah.
know.
Of
That's
course.
fancy. It sounded. Say that
Yeah,
again.
I know, right?
Say that again.
Yeah. MWBE, and they all actually call it like they have a funny way of saying it, but anyway, it's a minority and woman business enterprise,
Okay.
and so it's something that the state has where it helps small businesses, or disadvantaged businesses is what they're calling, to sort of be able to be part of contract to kind of help to gain momentum for economic development. So some of the work that I do has a community component to it. So if you're not out there supporting others, how do you really expect them to support you back, right? When you need them.
Absolutely.
And so, that's part of some of my work, but I honestly like to be able to help because I've come to realize that I have things that others need and they're asking for. And so if I can, I try, so to that end with my work, that takes me out a little bit. And, I just try to hit as many places as I can if it's feasible. So if I'm coming from the city, or I'm coming from upstate, or I flew in and I can make 3 stops on my way, I'm making 3 stops or 4 stops. As you know, I'm
Yeah.
out East Long Island. So
Okay.
it's a trek either way.
Right.
So I trek it this way and I trek it. And so it's all part of my day, so, and
That's
then once I'm
amazing.
done, then, that's it. I can't, I'm not going to spend hours at anything unless I really have to, our time's valuable. So, do the best we can.
So are you like is that what are you like a traveling business woman? Right?
Yeah, I know, right?
You're like a traveler, like you're
It
like this world
seems
traveler,
seems like that, right? So no, I do have to keep office hours because there's work that needs to be done. But a lot of times I'm going to clients' office for meetings
Okay.
or project meetings, and so you're on the road. So this allows you to be able to put in stops a little bit here or there, and then when you have the office time, you have to just hit everything you need to. So if there's anything else
Right.
you're going to do, we don't have entrepreneurs, we don't have traditional time.
Absolutely
stuff,
not.
right? And
Absolutely
days.
not. But I've also besides all the the business talk and the business side and the aspect of it, I've seen that you've been involved in a lot more of more personal side, people, advocating for women's rights, advocating for, anything that's more on a personal side, is that something that you've always done, or is that something that just came about, or something that had happened, or?
Part of it, I think I'm going to go back to, I guess, family. My parents are always like, especially my mom, anybody needs anything and we don't have, she'll give everything away.
Right.
And we never felt as if we were lacking anything. So giving and taking care of others, like there's a lot of people, I'm going to say hundreds, that call my mom, like they're
Right,
her
mom.
mom, right?
I get it. Yeah.
And so that was inherently part of my family dynamic. And I think, just being somewhat in the church when I was younger, we were always doing things for, community outreach for the
right.
less fortunate. I was part of the less fortunate too, as well, at some point or the other. But, that wasn't part of that dynamic. So as I guess, you go through life, you see that again, as I shared, people need you more than you need them.
Right.
And so like one of my dear I think one of the things that are was closest to my heart is this not-for-profit group I work with, the Women's Center for Personal Development, and they work with women in shelters. So we help them in terms of personal development. We're not finding housing or so on, but this is stuff that we're doing. You know, it's the gritty, dirty work that's not sexy, that nobody else wants to touch, right?
That's beautiful.
So we have folks that do that. And then for everything else that people are doing in the community, you know, I remember, you know, when I was young, and I understand there's a lot of challenges, especially for young people. So, you know, I'm there to help in whichever way it is that I can. So yeah, I'm involved in a lot of,
I know,
that way.
And that's how we definitely this is how we met at one of these events. I'm not exactly 100% sure where. Do you remember? I don't remember.
I know we know Tracy together, we know Wendy together, and we know
Tracy,
Sam
Wendy,
together. I think we met at probably one of Off Color's events,
of course,
because you covered
Tracy
this,
out of
and then at the school Brentwood, you were one of the performers at one of the events.
I was.
Yes, and we finally said hi, and then we were like,
somebody remember?
Yeah, and then we were like, oh, there she is, oh, there she, hi, you know, bye, hi, you know.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so that was a few years back, and we continuously, you know, keep bumping into each other because you know what, I believe like there's a growing population in these like networking events, you know, and the nonprofits and everything. And I don't know about you, but do you feel that after COVID, like things totally shifted and people just decided to do, either they dropped, obviously, because they couldn't continue with, you know, some had lost their jobs, some, you know, maybe for health, and they just found different and more creative ways, I guess, to be part of something, or to be, you know, and I feel like so many people are so more involved with each other and helping each other after COVID. Do you feel that way?
So, you know, it's an interesting dynamic, and we don't have time to talk for whatever all about
no,
this.
we do have the time, and then what happens is when we're halfway through, I'm like, we really didn't have time. We have so much fun talking, but
yeah, but it's true. And I think part of it, we live in a culture where there's a lot of things, you know, we have an opportunity to share, and we share a lot of our stories we're not sharing, so that creates the other problem we have, where people feel like people are always on their own, seeing the good things. But yes, you know, it took back people to being somewhat a little bit more real, right? They really understand the need for that personal, that interrelationship, right? Just the one-on-one. You need that energy. A device is not the energy that we need. Human reconnection and connectivity. And so I think even people who are introverts, you know, it showed them that everybody needs someone. Or
I think
it
totally I think it totally, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, I mean, we thought this was like the end of the world, like basically, you know, you start reading, you know, that's the prophecy is fulfilling itself, you know, those are the little, you know, that would be my mom. You see, one of the things that, you know, in the prophecy 1335 page 75,000, you know, whatever it is, like it was really, you know, and it's unfortunate that you know, a lot of lives were lost. You know, it changed a lot of lives for those who were affected, you know, with it. My household also, you know, my husband also was affected really bad, you know, health wise, and it was a scare, you know, it was a big scare. But at the same time, you know, even though we were in a standstill, sometimes it made you like find yourself.
Yes.
Right? Like it made you think, wow. Like there was a period I remember just like sitting in a chair just all day in my pajamas, not even knowing what to do, because it was really nothing to do. Like, what do you do now? Like, you know, the production with shows, everything just shut down. And you're like, holy cow, you know, but over time, then you start, okay, now I can't just sit here in my pajamas all day, right? I got to do something, you know, and then you kind of start like now figuring out what the things you like, what you don't like, what interests you, what don't interest you. Well, if I can't make it this way, you know, and then you start being creative at home. And I think that's what part of mostly all these events that we have and all these organizations and nonprofits I think that's where it stems from, because they created something new.
Mhm.
Do you feel like a lot of that did stem from that, unfortunate era in our lives?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of things that, even with our events, like once they went, in person, like people are more, they're coming out a little bit more. Then you don't have to over encourage them to like to show up and to do things. But I think, for depending on how you're looking at it, there was those who were impacted significantly by that. There were people like myself who were still up and about, right? We may have been stood still for a couple of days or so on because of the type of work that I'm involved in and so on. And just reinventing themselves and going out. I think everybody has a platform now that they can use. Everybody wanted to start something. So the
Right.
opportunity is there for you to be different and to, speak to your tribe, because not everybody or everything is for everyone. So I think that vibrancy, or rejuvenation of, just doing things a little differently and being a little bit more creative is embraced and is kind of needed a little bit more now, right?
I like what you said there. I like that word tribe. Speaking of, are you from a tribe? Look.
No tribe, but like many of us, I'm multiracial. So I know for a fact, I've never done the DNA bit, but I do know African American, Asian, in terms of Indian. So that's where you're thinking.
Probably, yeah.
And my
Somewhere when you mentioned the
grandfather,
word tribe, I was like,
yeah,
click.
yeah. And my grandfather by my mom's side, that I know, was born in Panama.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't speak, no habla español.
No, that's, well, there you go. That's something. Well, we all can't, I mean, I speak perfect Spanglish, that is my my number one language, so we're okay. But so what exactly are you like looking forward to do, like with your, do you have a nonprofit?
So I don't have a nonprofit. I don't. If you give it a thought here or there, or organizations that are
Okay.
nonprofits. So I think like I sit on a couple of boards.
Okay.
Right. So I don't need to
Right.
have
That alone is a lot. Yeah.
You know what it is, and I think about it. I think, look, if you don't have a need to be with a not-for-profit, you or have a foundation, work with the ones that are out there. There's plenty. And again, going back to even with the Women's Center, one of my companies, Designs by Dr. G, it's a sustainable lifestyle brand. So I have makeup stuff,
Yes,
products,
please talk more about that. That was very, I
women
actually
stuff.
was going through your website. There was just like so much. I was like, oh, this is, like I said, I really need an hour's worth to really know, because it was very interesting. Your makeup line, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So talk about that.
So when that just stemmed out of some of my consulting work or research work with commercialization of technology and products and so
Okay.
on. Like, how do you ever sleep? Like, how you look this way and
Right.
blah blah blah, and what do you do and what you use? And I'm like, oh dear Lord, I really don't, whatever. So being a part of the energy world, I started to think more about, like, I do have some sustainable practices in my lifestyle.
Okay.
So I decided to build out a lifestyle brand. It's not fully there yet, so it's
Okay.
a long way to go. And the other part of that I thought was good was, like, this is a great opportunity to do a give back to charities. So it is always like I do a lot of give back, where, whatever little it is, or give them codes, companies that ask, they can use it as a fundraiser.
So is this more like the makeup line that you have, or
Yeah.
does it include like more different products?
Yeah, all the products on there. So
Okay.
whatever anybody buys, if they have a charity they want to give back to, they can always ask for code, and whatever they
Okay.
get in terms of a percentage
Interesting.
of the sale. I do it for the consulting company too, though, but that is focused on really a give back, like that company, like, my corporate social responsible
okay.
aspect of it. That's just focused on
that is wonderful.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
yeah.
So with that being said, with the makeup line and all the products that you have, is that something that you introduce to the women's shelter when you work with?
So, I mean, we just had a high tea, and if they, products or stuff we can give if they need, but mostly it's from the sales. Like, if we table there, we make any money, we give it back, sort of stuff. And as I said, with that company, the focus was on the smaller not-for-profits, not the bigger ones, the smaller
Okay.
ones who are doing, they're not getting the big grants, and they're not getting any
Right.
grants, and they don't have big donors, but they need whatever. So their regular family members can support, or friends. And, it's something they're supporting, a company that supports back, something that they support.
Yeah. That is amazing. I mean, I think that's I think is very much needed, especially women in shelters. Let them know that there are people who do care, and to have like just throw you in there with a bed and it's I'm sure it's difficult. And then when you have people like you come in, and do you do like one-on-one talking with them? Do you do consults?
So I don't do, from time to time I'll do sessions, but we
Okay.
do have mentorship, because I'm one of
Okay.
their mentors, or we'll plan things for them. And we work with ones who have children too, so it's different. We do
Right.
with men as well, but
Mhm.
we have a different organization that
Right.
works with the male. So yeah, we'll have talks. We have events, like even on Saturdays. The founder for the company, I call her Lady Heart.
Okay.
She goes in, and like on Saturdays is stuff like when they don't have food, we'll have money, bring some food, she'll purchase and have things there. We'll have event, whether virtual, in person. We have 3 of the ladies that were in the center, maybe 4, that came out, got their own home, and actually went to college. One still in college at Nassau
Amazing.
Community
Beautiful.
College.
That's
Because
great.
the story is, as you're sharing, it can happen to any of us. This is things where people have disasters such as fire, flooding, someone passes on, and whatever it is, they have to reinvent themselves, and they find themselves in this situation. And it's really hard to get out of it because of how the system is set up. It's not
Right.
malicious or not intended.
So is your the people that you do the community work with and stuff, is that something that they help them get through that, or they guide them, or it's just
So they're already set up in terms of if they have the homes. Our work is really just to help to encourage and motivate them, and give them, whatever resources we know. If they're looking for jobs, to have sessions where we can talk about whatever it is that they need to. If it's social services, psychologists or social workers, or
Okay.
different things that they might need to help to get them to the point where they can get out, get their own home, have their own jobs, finish college if they want to. And as I said, some of these people are people who have higher ed.
And what is it? What's the name of that organization?
This one is Women's Center for Personal Development.
Women's Center.
Yeah.
Does everybody hear that? That is
Yeah,
amazing.
they're on
I love that.
Facebook.
I love I think, as you see, we're in trying times.
Yes.
It's it's inevitable that we don't see in the news every day what's going out in in Israel and all that, and it's heartbreaking, that this is what I don't know, the world is coming to, things are supposed to be getting better. We try to, advocate, like, world peace, and everybody's hold hands, and let's just get along, and and out of the blue, things just start getting worse, and it's heartbreaking, to see that, even though, it's, you think just because it's not your, neighboring country, but you feel for the people. You feel for the kids. You feel for, it's horrific, and I think it puts a kind of like an eye opener sometimes. It's an eye opener to see what's going on there in the world. Like, sometimes a lot of people is like, I don't like to look at the news. I don't want to, what. But if you don't, I mean, make sure you don't constantly glue to CNN or something like that. But I mean, you need to, because you need to inform yourself of what's going on. You don't want to be exclusive, like, I don't want to watch the news and then not know like what's going on, and school yourself, and we need to know
Yeah, so I'll touch on that really quickly. One of the classes I used to lecture at LIU Post as an adjunct for corporate social responsibility and sustainability. And so one of the things we talk about, I'm actually doing a TEDx on the 28th of this month on that. And I'm doing a Catalyst Youth Summit on the 21st, is Saturday in Brooklyn with a bunch of folks. But is the way the students, when they share, is how they look at the news, start to look at the news differently. So you're right. You have to you have to look at the news, but you have to filter out. It doesn't matter which news you're getting your feed from. And through our class, at the end of it, that's what the students would say. Many of them would say is like, I don't look at the news as I used to anymore. And the type of news that I used to look at, and I find myself talking about different aspects, to your point, that there's other places and other things that are going on in the world that impacts us day to day.
Absolutely.
And we cannot be oblivious to those things, because then that's how comes we become so entitled, right? Every one of us, we go around.
I just feel that, you know, this is a time where humanity just has to come out and shine through. Like, we really need to, you know, when you really you don't realize it sometimes, and you know, and you complain, and you know, and the petty stuff, and this happened to me and that happened to that, I don't feel good, you know, and then you have something that's really going on, and it makes you think, wow, I'm complaining about these things in my life that are meaningless or petty. Meanwhile, people are really suffering, like out there, like, and it makes you feel like, wow, you feel helpless in a way, because you're like, what, you know, what can you really do? Let's say, oh, donate to, you know, I'm not talking about donations, and, you know, I rather do something so like direct, you know, to me. Okay, you don't like, it doesn't fulfill me as to know if they say, listen, you know, there's a group coming in from so and so when they need, you know, some kind of like whatever it is, support with, you know, I'd rather have that one-on-one, and to feel like I'm making a difference, you know, that, you know, and I think that's when your humanity comes out, and it's just like, you have to put your differences away. Like, it's like, and I think sometimes it's just like, wow, is it ever going to end? You know, the hate, you know, and that's why I say, it's like, you know, I have this, we'll be playing it later, but I have this inspirational video that I make at the end, and it's like truly saying, like, I love life. I love my life. Like, I want to fight for Bobby, don't make fun of me when you watch it, okay? I love my life, because I was being so sincere, because when you really think of it, you know, things are crazy. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue talking with Dr. G.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen Michael. Come follow me every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Channel 115 on the Keeping It Real with Stephen Michael show. Come hang out with me and DJ Brian as we play your favorite music. We have your motivational messages, and I promise you, you'll leave a happier person. The show's all about faith, mental health awareness, and motivational messages. I'll see you every Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. Channel 115, where the insanity begins.
And all your problems make you want to scream and shout. Keeping it real with Stephen Michael. Never give up, Stephen Michael.
And welcome back. We're here on Cookie UTV with the one and only Dr. G. It's so much fun here talking to you. You're so intriguing, knowledgeable, and it's just like I feel like I'm in a study group or something.
Study group. Wow.
These big words. I love hearing that. I like I have this platform, right? And I like to listen to people. I like to but my thing is like I don't really like to talk too much, even though some will not concur, but I like to listen, and I love to soak up the knowledge,
Right,
things
right.
that I don't really encounter on an everyday, so it's nice to have something fresh and different, and just like
Yeah.
like I'm back in school.
Oh gosh. So that I did not hit my cool factor with that part, right? But
No,
you know what?
I do. I
We're
love
s-
it.
We're similar in terms of
Yes.
I love to listen, but people probably
Stimulate,
think
you're stimulating your mind, and you're kind
right.
of like you're open to different things that you normally,
Yeah, people won't think that I'm not. But I want to, I don't know if you mind, I want to pick up on something you were saying, that you have your platform here and you help to make a difference. Because if you look at the work that you're doing and what you're bringing, is that give a little love, a little hope, a little lighter part of aspect in your own way. And even to your point about even with COVID, like we have to be so intentional to live each day to the fullest without being
Absolutely.
selfish and trying to do as much good, because most of us are good people and we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
There's just some bad people out there that just make it stink.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm not, I've always said it, I started this show a few, years ago. And as an artist, I know the struggles that an artist, recording artist goes, to just try to make somebody listen to your music, or just try to make the music, and the music industry itself, it's not fun, it's not, and nevertheless for a female, so it's hard. The music business alone is hard as it is, and then being a female, on top of that, it's even harder, but I always I stuck through, and I broke barriers, and I have to say that for what I'm called an independent artist, an indie artist, I feel like I've accomplished a lot on my own, as far as like the things I've done and the people I've met and the continuous, opportunities that I have. And I had this epiphany that I was like, I want to like share, I want to help, because then I have a lot of young artists, mostly young, but I get them all. It's like, oh my God, I'm trying to do that as well. What can I do? They didn't know the foundation, or just, how would it even begin. I was like, well, listen, I'm trying to get there myself. I'm not anywhere near the top, but I'm not nearly near the bottom either. I'm somewhere in the middle. So I was like, I can help with the foundation, with the fundamentals,
Right.
So I said, I want to create a platform where, somebody starting out can come in and have their first interview, can have their first music video showcase. They can do a live performance, and that's the way that it was like fulfilling for me, without asking anything, I was just like, it's just something that I wanted to do from the top of my head. And then from there, it just evolved, it's just evolved to different things and different opportunities, so yeah, definitely it's something that, that I try in my own way to be, helpful with the community, but yeah, I try on something, but Dr. G, we do something here. We do a little something here called, what now? What now? What now? Because there's always something going on. Like what's going on, what's trending, who said what, what's that? You know what, Bobby? Let's get to what's now and get to our Jada Pinkett. She's been on the news every single day this past week. As you see now, she's revealing that they're working on a new book called "Don't Try This at Home." Okay, I don't know what's the frenzy about. Her memes are, I mean, the internet is savage. The internet is savage. Like they go on and they'll just create anything out of anything. We've all know how, you know, Jada and Will have, I want to say, an orthodox kind of, you know, relationship. Some say is you know, publicity because of a new book that's coming out. It's just to draw attention. It's just a stunt. But I don't know. After, I don't know, 20 something years, I think, right? They're still hanging on. They're still there. So it's so funny that it says, "Don't try this at home." So I think that's a good title for them, for their book, because you know what? I feel that whatever works for them works for them, right? Doesn't mean that whatever they do to make it work, you know, it's just like what anybody else, like whatever works for you, it works for you. So don't ask, you know, oh my God, how, you know, how do you make it work? I want to be, you know, it's like, well, what works for me, you know, works for me. Doesn't mean that it's going to work for you, you know, because everybody is different, you know, and, but I don't know. I'm at I look and I'm like, are they mocking her? Is she really truthful? They're saying that she's going too far. She's just making up stuff now. Like, it's part of society. It's part of like the whole social media blitz. Well, what is your take on that? What do you think?
So I'm with you on, you know, it sounds like a good title for them. It also is, to your point. I always say success is relative. So it's the same thing. You know, it's different for everyone. If that works for them, it works for them.
But we don't even know what it is. You know what it is? They keep saying things like...
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Why are we getting caught up in something where we know
it's just,
all this?
and that's the whole thing with the social media, you know, internet. They love to have fun. I think I was just having this conversation with Bobby before, how everything nowadays is just based on, you know, reality TV, you know, and what consists of reality TV if it's not, you know, the fighting,
some sensation, some drama, some
drama, you know, people are intrigued by that. Like,
well,
but everywhere you turn, that's something
they don't like it, and then they're glued to it.
They glued to it. They'll say, "Oh, that's horrible TV," or who? But you're the very first one who's there, glued watching. It's like people. Like, I don't mind. I'm not saying all reality TV, because I like to watch, you know, reality. I would like to know real reality. I don't want anything that's mocked up or anything that rehearsed. And what's the sense of it being reality TV if it's not real, you know? So, but I mean, it has to be
like we're
interesting, real life, real situations. Not, I mean, I'm not even gonna knock, but you know, nowadays with this reality TV, it's the same thing. And you know, to me, it's like, especially when it comes to these young ladies, that all they're doing is fist fighting and pulling hair and scratching each other's out and landing in jail because
we need more positive
like,
role models
wow, like where's your like pride? Like, where's, you know, you're a woman, like act like one. I feel like sometimes it's like going through the TV and it's like, what are you doing? Like, it's disgusting, honestly. You know, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them when I see that.
So more of us don't talk up, and I think this is part of the narrative, right? We have to speak up. We just sit back and just, you know, we're all saying, well, it needs to, and more of us, some of us speak up. You're speaking up about it, but we just allow it because of, and so on.
Because that's what everybody else wants. There's nobody that's going to sit there and say, you know, if you don't have something juicy or you know, I've seen like firsthand, and have people who have stories that've been like on reality TV, and you know, and when they have a story, a nice story, if it's not enough of a story, juicy, they'll start making up stuff, you know, throw it in there. Oh, just say this, say that, you know, to make it more dramatic and more. But that's not real. Why do you feel like that's what's gonna intrigue, you know? You know, it all started with the whole, I believe, with Maury and his, you're not the father, and you're not the father type of thing, you know, and the fighting, and you're not, and like, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, so after a while, it just gets a little bit boring.
Nothing about that intrigues me, and you know, I'm sure there might be something out there. I think I've lived my life. I'm trying to be a better person and try to be a better person to others. So nothing about that story intrigues me.
I know,
And
absolutely. Well, you
they-
know what? Let's go
yeah,
on. Let's
yeah,
move on from Jada. Well,
yeah.
keep that to yourself already. Nobody wants to hear it. What we have next?
Yeah.
But if they put you behind bars for 1 year, I am going to visit you and I'm going to bring you things. I will bring you candy because I need to talk to you. I need to understand where you were 40 hours. I will give you anything. Please come on this show. We are begging. I will pay the $18,000 fine if you sit down with me and give me a one-on-one on where you were for the 48 hours. I mean that. Take it to the bank, Carly Russell. $18K in your bank account. Just talk to me on this show about where the heck you were for 48 hours. America deserves to know.
Now, she's clearly talking about Camille Russell, Carly Russell's. Carly Russell's was the lady who, young woman who pretended to be kidnapped. That she was walking the side of the road and she saw a 3-year-old on the side of the road, and then from there she disappeared, and then for 48 hours nobody could find her. And then when she finally returned home, she said that she was kidnapped and she was held by her abductors and stuff. And then why are you making Candace? I'm on the fence with her. I don't know. Sometimes I like her, sometimes I don't. I don't know what's the story, but she's making a point. She's like, I'll give you whatever, because they just supposedly sentenced her to a year in prison and like $18,000, restitution or whatever it is. But she's saying come have an interview. We need to know, where were you? Why? It's like, what goes through these? What goes, in your opinion, through these girls' minds that they feel? Is that an lack of attention to make up such a story that you were kidnapped? Is that part of a mental health?
So I would not even want to touch that topic here, and because I think it's such a big topic and so many different parts to it, and because my eyes have seen or ears have heard certain aspect of why that could be true,
right,
or why it couldn't be true. So for the part whereby if it's not true that they make this up because of attention and certain other things that has happened to them, maybe
we just
some
don't know.
Illness, we don't, and so we shouldn't be. It says judge not lest you be judged, because you don't really know what that person.
Well, obviously they found her guilty or something, because they're already sentencing her, and because she admitted, she admitted it that
we know the system too as well, right? So
it's incredible, but that's what's trending on here now. But
yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I want to know, what is next for you? What is your next thing? I'm dying to go to another event. I love to be part of the events that you are. What is the next activity? Anything that you want to share with the public of anything that's upcoming that we should know about?
So there's a huge thing. I'd say like a mentee and a younger sister, a fellow MWBE as well, a minority and women business enterprise. She's put together this really fantastic program, and I've been a part of it since she started it for young people in Brooklyn, in the Crown Heights area, to help. So it's a whole bunch of stuff. It's really nice. We'll have some electeds who are going to be there. That's Saturday coming up. At Restoration Plaza. So if folks who are that and they're willing to come out, look, if you're there, come out. I'll tell her you're going to come and do a cameo or something like that for them.
Oh, that's great.
Just pop in. The other thing is I'm doing a TEDx on the 28th of October here at the Suffolk County Community College Brentwood campus.
Okay.
And my TEDx talk is going to be on CSR, corporate social responsibility and sustainability. There's a whole bunch of fantastic speakers on that.
Words. Yeah, I know,
down. Right? It's so old, though.
No, but that's good, because I get knowledgeable and I feel like I'm a smart student.
So I mean, like the concept of this, that's what I mean. Like it's been around since about 20s or so on. And so we hear about it and it's just being good, the company just doing the right thing. And it's just, again, like certain things, it's after COVID, you're hearing more about it, or certain other things you're just hearing those
Right.
buzzwords a little bit because people want companies to do the right things, right, by their community. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about it in the sense of common sense.
Okay.
Right? Like certain things that we take for granted that we can do. Kind of some of the stuff we're talking about here a little
Right.
bit. So
Absolutely.
I think those two things I have right up, and then I have an energy conference, but that's going to be in Jamaica.
Oh, like Jamaica, the island Jamaica?
Jamaica.
Well, maybe I'm gonna have to start saving here for my Jamaica. It's educational. Like I'm going to Jamaica, not to go on the beautiful beaches and beautiful island with the beautiful people, and no. Right, doctor?
Yeah. We have a panelist that's going to talk about PR in terms of, we're talking about resiliency in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And, the hurricanes and the earthquake and sort of stuff.
Yes.
So we have someone who is from the US who's going to be putting on a panel with that.
That's amazing.
So it's supposed to be fun.
That is amazing. Dr. G, I it's such a pleasure to have you here and this small, small talk, a little bit of time that we have, it's not enough to cover for everything that we can really go through, because I think me and you can really sit down and just like talk up a storm that we won't even like know what time it is now. Like it's about that time already. Look, I have a clock right in front of me that lets me know, like I can't, that we definitely come. But why don't you let everybody know where exactly are your handles? What's your Instagram, your Facebook, any kind of a website that you want to share where they can find the links to any of these events and.
So I think for IG it's Designs, DEGSIGNS, when you have to spell these words right, by BYDRG. And I have a Facebook page there. It's also, the consulting firm is Graham International Consulting and Research. So they'll find me, or they'll just look you up and find the stuff. I post.
You can do that too.
Yeah, I post. Just with some of the stuff. Look for TEDx Deer Park, and you can see what's coming up on the 28th. Just look at the Catalyst Youth Summit, and you'll find wherever else it is, or just look me up. My name, on Facebook, just look at my personal email and find me, Corrinne Graham, Dr.
Corrinne
G.
Graham, Dr. Corrinne Graham. Well, I call it Dr. G. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sitting down and chatting and getting to know you a little bit better and a little bit more than just bumping to each other into these events, and just saying hi and bye.
Yeah, right?
At least I got this little time to really get more informed and of everything you do and the and with the nonprofits that you're part of. That I think is fascinating, and I hope that everybody can put a little effort into themselves and join or watch or go, because you're a very interesting person, and I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you. And I'm just trying to get some interesting and cool fact by being here. So thank you.
Oh, you're cool. Oh, that's
me.
it. You're cool enough. When you walk into those doors, you were already cool. So don't worry about that. So thank you, Dr. G, so much for coming into the show and chatting with me. And we're definitely gonna have more of these chats. We can have you in periodically, come in and chit chat and let us know what's been going on.
And I'll get you to maybe come and do some, when I'm doing things, whatever. But keep up the great work. It was awesome. And I'm glad we were able to sit down.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
happy birthday.
I don't understand. I mean, it is my birthday month, and I haven't really been celebrating the way I usually do. People are slacking. People are slacking. I don't see my gifts. I don't see my cakes, my candy, my flowers, my champagne from the beginning of the month. Like, people, you're slacking. I don't like this. You're supposed to be my friends. But anyway, it is this weekend, so we still have, I say, to a whole month. The whole month of October is mine, so you have plenty of time to celebrate. So, but Yes, definitely. Oh, and this is very important, people, because I will be part of this Halloween haunted castle. Everybody must come. It's gonna be epic. Epic because I can put my glasses here. Hold on. It's going to be held at the Ohika Castle. Yes. So Tuesday, October 31st. It's going to be hosted by Bernice Burgos, P. Rila. We have performances by Ja Rule. OMG. I'm there. Music by Irie, Covey, Suave. This is in partnership with D Up on Cancer. We have CSC, which is Celebrity Sports Entertainment, with TMT, which is the money team, Ohika Castle. So everyone, there's going to be costume contests. I'm going to be there. So everyone, please, the link will be on my bio. Oh, you caught me with my glasses. The link is on my bio. It's on my story. I'll be posting that, and I'll be repeating this. So everybody, I would love to see everybody in their costumes for Halloween night. So, but thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, please share the video. The more we share, the more views. And, sharing is caring. And also want to let you know that the show will be on cable Saturdays at 10 a.m. channel 115. Yes, I'm on Optimum TV. So everyone, please watch and support. And thank you so much for viewing. I love you. Los quiero mucho. Mwah. I see you next time. Same place. Bye.
Cumpleaños feliz.
Yes. Cumpleaños. Feliz cumpleaños to me.
To all the people having birthdays, let's be grateful, right? Let's be grateful that we have another birthday to celebrate, enjoy life. I don't know about you, but I love life. And I love my life. And everyone has their ups and downs. Life is not perfect. It's what you make of it. And I want to live. I want to live every day. I want to see beautiful things. I thank God every time I wake up each morning. My mom always instilled in me, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is just thank God for giving you that gift to open up your eyes and to see the world and to see, I'm going to fight for my life. I'm not ever going to put my life in danger because I love life.